Alright, hey guys, it's me again. This time I have a special guest with me. This is my daughter. She's going to be building this computer instead of me. I am just here for support with opening things and kind of telling her if she has a question where to go. This will be a bit of an experiment as to how well I give direction when explaining how to put a computer together, as well as an experiment to her ability to take and receive those orders and put this together safely. I will be monitoring what's going on, and if anything gets scary or I think that anything might get damaged, I'll step in and stop that. But outside of that, this is going to be her building this computer, demonstrating exactly how easy it is to put one of these together. So simple, even a kid could do it. Depending on how well this goes this time around, the next video may also have a special guest as well. We'll see how this goes after this, though. So, I'm going to help you open up all this stuff, girl, and get everything put where you can work on it. I'm going to get the pieces out that you're going to need for later. That can sit there and we can put stuff back into it. Now, alright, there's your motherboard. Here's your processor. Here's that. Here's this. Okay, girl. Do you remember whenever I was doing this on the video, which part did I start with? You don't remember?
No.
Okay, so we're going to start with the processor, alright?
Okay.
So look at your processor, and you'll see in these corners, you see these little dots? You see that one looks like a triangle? Okay, if you look right here, you see a triangle right there? If you pull this to the side, this comes up, and you can pick this part up. You see that mark right there? That's also on there so that you can know, find your triangle and line it up with that. Alright, so this, you don't touch the bottom of this, and don't touch any of those pins right there. So what you do is you hold it by the side when you take it out of here and put it in. So go ahead and do that.
How do I take it out?
Oh, look, on this side right here, where this part comes apart, just pop it out. And then look, your finger should fit right there in those two holes. There you go. Now, when you set it in there gently too. Okay? Just like that. Alright, see how it lined up there? You see those two notches right there that lined up with those two pieces? That means you're good. So you put this part down, and then you pull the arm down. Not the arm yet, just the big part first. So leave that part up. There you go. And then pull your arm down, and this part will latch underneath that screw, and that plastic piece will pop off.
It's not going.
Pull it a little harder. You see? Just like that. Pull it down like that. Okay. It's hard to do, but you have to just push it down. Okay? That piece already popped off, so go ahead and pull that down and latch it underneath that piece right there. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so next after that, you're going to put in the RAM, okay? So, on this, there's a notch in the middle here, and you'll see in this board right here, there's a piece there that has thing in it. You want to line that up and make sure that it's facing the right way when you stick it in. But let me turn this way so you can see it. See this part right here where it's written on here? It says dim A1, dim A2, dim B1, dim B2.
Mm-hmm.
And you see this part where it says first? That means it wants you to use this one's first. And then you'll use these after. But we're only sticking one in, so you only want to use this one right here. So you pull these two things down, and then you line this up where the notch matches that, and you slide it in, and it'll click, and these two will come back together once it's in place. Okay? So there you go. Figure out which way it goes. Do it.
I can't do it.
Okay, you can. Look.
Now push it down.
No, that part's not in right there. Look at it. There you go. Now, your notch is in the right spot, so push it down on both sides.
Right here?
Well, don't pull up on those because those are going to latch when you do it. So just push down really hard right here, like that. Look, do one side if you have to, like this, and then go back and do the other. There you go. All the way in. There you go. Alright, so the next thing you got to do is install this thing. Do you remember where this goes?
No.
You don't... Did you even watch the video, girl?
No.
No! You were supposed to watch it. Okay, look. What does this look like on here?
Oh.
Does this look like anything on here that it matches? Does it look like it matches anything on here? Like that?
I don't know.
You don't know? I just did it. You don't think it matches that?
Yes, it does. Yes.
Okay, that's actually a trick question. That's not where it goes.
Oh.
On this board, you have to take this right here off, and there's another one underneath there.
Okay.
So unscrew those two screws and take it off.
Which way do I screw it to unscrew it?
Lefty loosey, righty tighty. So unscrew it that way. Okay. Set that over to the side and do the other screw back there the same way. Can you get it? There you go. Alright, I think it's loose. Just go ahead and pick this piece up like this. Get off of there. Now look at the bottom of it. See it's got a thing on it? You want to fill that off. Like that. Alright, set that down. This is a heat sink. It fits on top of this to give this thing a little bit better cooling so that it doesn't run so hot. So put this into there like I just showed you on this one.
Like that?
Yep, there's a notch inside of here. Look in there. Do you need me to turn it towards you some so you can see it better? Now don't pick it up. Now, once it's in there, it should go, look, once it's in there, just push it in a little bit like this. It should stick in there by itself. If you push it down, it'll match where that is because that's what holds this thing down into place whenever you put this back on it. Okay? So look, line this back up where that screw is going to fall into that, like so, and that goes in there, and then you can screw that back down. Go ahead. Before I do this again with Bubba, I'm going to make sure he watched the video. You were supposed to. Did you get it?
I think so.
Okay. And then don't lose your other screw here. It goes back in there. Alright, so, gonna open these up here for you. Now, here's your piece that goes onto there. Alright, so on this part, you see the different notches that are in here?
Mhm.
These little plastic pieces go in the one that's not the closest, but the second to the closest. And you just push them all the way down, like that. Okay? So here you are. Do that on each one of them. That's fine. We could use the one you got there, and then I'll hand you this one.
Like that.
Just like that. There you go. Here you are. There you go. Okay, so now this time you're going to want to turn the board a little bit to the side so you can pick it up, because those are going to stick through these holes right here. So line them up with those holes and stick them through. There you go. There you go. Make sure all four corners are snapped. And look, these pieces go through those, and that's what holds that into place. So you got four of them, so push them all the way down into those holes, okay? So push them down all the way, just like that. And do that for all four of them. Once that snaps into place, then you know that this part isn't going to come back off until you get ready to take it off. Just go all the way down. Make sure that they go all the way down too, okay? There you go. Good job. Alright. This is your thermal paste here. Now, this, when you push this button right here, or this plunger, this part is going to shoot out some stuff like this. See? So what you want to do is you want to make like a big X here, and then put a couple of dots around so that it covers most of the thing, so that when you push that down, it will spread out and cover this whole top. But be careful how much you put out, so that way it doesn't use it all up. Because you want to make sure you have enough when you get to your last spot that you're putting a dot on. You can go a little thicker than that. Just make sure that you got enough for all of the different corners.
How's that? Is that good?
I would put a little bit more, like, because you didn't go very thick right here, so I go a little bit this way and here, like that. Because you want it a little bit thick, not too thick, but a little bit thick, because whenever this thing squishes down on it, it's going to spread that apart to cover up the rest of that thing. So you can put their lid back on this now. But that was a pretty good deal. Alright, so this is your fan, and look at the way these fins face on this one, and look at the way that they face on this one. So it spins this way, so what that means is this is going to catch the air and push it that way. This one is also going to spin the same way. That means it's going to grab the air and pull it out, because the fins are facing a different way. So look at this thing right here, and where these plug-ins are here, this is the back of your case. The back of your board's going towards the back side of your case. Your case is going to have another fan in it here that's going to also be pulling air out of the case. So this is what keeps that thing cold, or not cold, but cool. So, and this one's a little hard. I might have to actually do this one for you, because pushing down on these things is a bit difficult. But this part right here, just another plastic piece. You pull it off just like we did the last one. And it sits on here. And then these pieces clip onto right here and right here. Okay, so I'm gonna set it on there. I'm gonna turn it towards me, but you can watch here. See, That one. Come on. Goes onto there. And then this one goes under there. That fits a bit tight. It's hard to push down, but that's how it goes on there, and that's what keeps it smashed close to that thing so that it makes good contact and helps cool it better. Alright, so the next thing you need to do, turn it around here for you, is you need to plug in your fans. So, on this part here, you'll see where these things say different things. See, that says system fan, that says pump fan, that says CPU fan, so on and so forth. Now, on this, what you're going to do is you're going to plug into pump fan, and see these little grooves here? They line up with this right here to make sure that it doesn't come undone. And you just slide it on like that. And make sure that it plugs into all 4 of those. Now this one right here needs to be a little bit longer, and it goes into right there. So there you go. Go for it. Got it?
Yes.
Good job, girl. So, alright, this is your power supply, girl. Do you see these different things right here?
Mhm.
These right here kind of fit together like that to plug into that one. And this one, there's 2 of them. They both fit together and they plug in up here. Now you see where these little clips are?
Mhm.
These clips clip onto this thing and on this thing. So whenever you're plugging it in, make sure that that side is facing the side with the clips. On this one, you see those 2 little things? They have to go underneath this. Because if you put them up there like that, it won't go all the way down and plug in, and that one can come loose. So put it underneath like that, and then plug it in onto this one. So go ahead. And what I like to do sometimes is like turn it over. So what you can do is whenever it's over here, you could take this one and plug it in first on the very end here, and then plug this one in right beside it. That way you know that that's going to be underneath. When it goes down, that's underneath, and look, I can't pull that one back off because it's being held down by that one now. Now, these don't actually clip like that, so they don't, doesn't really matter which one you do first, but make sure that they're facing to where these 2 pieces are together, because this end, see how these are curved and that one is flat? They only fit in here a certain way.
Oh.
So go ahead and do that one. And when you put it in, make sure it goes all the way down enough so that the thing clips. There you go.
I need your help.
Need my help again?
Yes.
Okay. So, there you go. Now push it down. There you go. You heard it clip. That means it's in. Alright, so what we can do now is we can test this thing. I don't have a monitor set up here, or I'd test it with a monitor, but what I do have that I can look at is the lights that are on here. So you see these little small spots right here? These are lights. They'll light up in a second. Would you do this screwdriver? Here it is. So, if I turn this way, let's see, front panel, that's this one. Like that. Alright, you see that light? How it lit up? Alright, see it changed that light and it came back? These are different tests that the thing is running. See, it moved on? So it's running that test. It's going. Well, we're going to wait for it to move on to that one down there. Alright, that's the last one. And it's green. Alright, so we've passed all our tests. That means that if we plug this in to a monitor right now, we'd have a screen that tells us that it can't find the proper boot device, or we need to install an operating system to this thing because there's nothing installed on that hard drive yet. But it passed the test, so we're good. Alright, so we can turn this thing off and stick this into a case now. Here's your case.
Okay.
Now, to get these sides off here so that you can work in here, you have to unscrew these screws here, and these slide back and then come off. Okay, so be extra careful with this side because this side is made out of glass. So unscrew those and the top one, and then pull it back like this. Look, it comes right off of there. See there? Now, can you do the same thing for that side? There you go. Now, this one has a handle right here. You can pull it straight back. Gotta pull it a little hard. There you go. And then it should come right off of there. Just pick it up. And then what? This right here, here's your thing that goes up here. This is to keep dust out of the top. It's called a dust filter.
Oh.
Alright, and inside here should be all of your screws and things that you need. Remember what I told you a while ago about which side was the back? Which side's the back? If you're looking at this.
That side.
This side?
Because the button things.
Alright.
Plug in things.
So, you see how these are? Right here, how these look? See this part here? So if this is the back, it's going to sit like this, right? So that means this sits like so. Right? So, what you want to do is you want to put this in, you want to line it up like so, so that way all of those are going to go into the right spaces whenever you put it in there. See? Now this part here, I like to turn this on the side when I'm working on it, so that way I don't have to hold this up and hold the screws at the same time. So I'm going to do that for you right now. And are you tall enough to see in there?
Yes.
Okay. So you take this part, I'll help you with this because it's kind of heavy. And you slide it in there and you look at the back here and you see that those are lined up. Okay. So when you look in here, you see that right there where that screw isn't quite lined up. So you push that in a little bit further and that screw hole's lined up. So you can take this and look, this is magnetic. So you can put that on there and hold the screw until it goes into there and screw it into place. Just like that. On this part here, these aren't always 100% straight. So you don't want to tighten it up all the way the first time until you get all of the screws in. There will be 3 across the top. There's 3 here in the middle, so there's 1 there, 1 there that I just did, 1 there, and then at the bottom there's 2, 1 there and 1 there. Okay, so there's that. Here's your screws. Now on this one here, you're tightening it up, not loosening it. There you go. Good job. Did you get it?
I think so.
Think so? Let me see. Now it looks like it crossed thread. You got to be careful with that. Make sure that they go in straight.
Oh.
Here, I'll help you with this part here. See how I'm holding that? See how it can turn a little bit? See, now it's crooked. So I gotta go backwards with it and line it back up. And do it again. See, it goes all the way down to where the board is. Much easier that way. See that? That's kind of what was going on up here. And it might even still be... Hang on, let me look at it one more time. There we go. So just be careful when you're doing that. Want me to do this part?
Yeah.
Okay. So. Alright. So, now that that's in there, we can stand it back up and slide this thing into place. So this goes in here. On this, you see how there's a filter down here at the bottom?
Uh-huh.
So that's for airflow to come through, so you want your fan to be down there.
Okay.
So you put it in just like so. And then look back here in the back, Peanut. And you see how there are some holes here that sometimes, there you go. So right here, 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 and here, those places all need a screw in them. So. So we'll get them started like that. For these, I prefer to use this. Much quicker and easier. Alright, see how they're in there? And that don't move?
Yeah.
You're good to go. Alright. Let's turn this around. All these cables that I just set to the side here. This particular case, I'm going to take this out because I don't need that either. Alright, so this one here, you see it says HD audio. And then this one here. So don't actually, yeah, here it does. It says USB 3.0. See these? They say power switch, power LED. This one should say reset switch, and then HDD LED.
Yes.
Those all have places that they need to go on the other side. And so does this fan and the other fan.
Okay.
So, let's take a look at the other side real quick.
Okay.
And I'll show you what we're talking about here. Alright, so on this side, you see there's holes here and down here that you can go through. That's where we want to put those cables through at, so that they plug into the things that they're supposed to be plugged into.
Okay.
Alright, so this fan right here is just going to plug in right there underneath itself, right there. See that?
Uh-huh.
Now, if you look at this, see here it only has 3 pins, and this has 4. You still want to take these 2 slides right here and line them up with the piece that sticks up. So that means that we're only going to use these pins, and that top pin, it just isn't going to get used on this one.
Okay.
Alright? So, this place right here, you see where it says JAUD, AUD, audio? That's where that one comes through at. See, these say JUSB, JUSB 2. Those are for regular USBs. This one here, if you look underneath it, you can barely see it. If you look underneath there, it says JUSB 3. That's the one we're looking for this thing. The one that I said USB 3 a while ago. See how wide that is, and see how it's got the notch, and it matches up with that part where it's wide and it has the notch right there. So that one's going to have to come through about here when we do it. So I'm just going to pull it through, and we can work with it in a minute. All right. Now this one, remember the wide one?
Yeah.
It plugs in here.
Yeah.
So you want to plug it through up here at the top, where we can get to that with it. Alright, so this other one here, I need to turn it around because I can't see what I'm grabbing here. Oh, I've got this all kinds of tangled up. I should have looked at this first. Anyways, this one, remember it plugs in up here. So you want to plug this through this hole at the top up here. Just pull it through and we'll look at it again in a minute. Alright, so look here. Remember that button, those two that I touched a while ago to turn it on? Or right here? So that's where your power button is. It says JFP, that's your front panel. FP is front panel. This is your jumpers for your front panel. Jumper, front panel, 1. Alright, so remember I said the HD audio was back there?
Yeah.
Slip that through. We'll get it in a minute. Now, so front panel, that's power switch and all your lights. Okay? So those are going to come through this same one right here where the USB 3 came through at, because they're right there next to it. Okay? And then this other fan controller is right here. So your front fan that's in your case will just come through the same one that your big plug-in came through. And look, it's also a 3-pin, so you do it the same way. You want to line that up with that, and that just means that that end one right there just doesn't get used. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So bend these over a little bit like this, because we're going to pull that back through after we plug it in. Like that. See how I did that? And then this part comes back through, and like you can barely see that cable or this cable on this side of the computer whenever you're done with it. Now these don't need to stay like that. We only did it like that while we were testing it. So I'm going to undo those. Back through here, and I'll grab them later whenever I'm doing those other cables. Just so they'll be out of the way for now. There they are. Alright. So this part gets a little bit tricky, okay? So does this one actually tell you? This one doesn't actually tell you, so I'm just going to do this one for you. Usually on these, well, I don't know about usually anymore, but they used to come, instead of just saying JFP, like each one of these would have a little thing next to it that said, okay, this is your power LED, this is your HDD, this is your power switch, and this is your reset switch. Oh wait, here it is. Yeah, they moved it over here. Okay, see this here says JFP1? If you look closely, that says HDD, LED. Right there, that says power LED, that says reset, and that says power. Okay, so when you're looking at this, that means that down here at the bottom, on the far left, you have your HDD LED. So that's that one right there. So you want to plug it in just like so to that bottom one. There you go. And then right above that should be power switches, or power LEDs. Plug those in. Just like so. Alright, so next should be your power switch. And that is here. And then should be your reset switch right underneath it. I should have plugged in the reset first. Anyways, reset and then power. According to that, that's how that works.
See,
So.
she keeps falling off.
Let's go ahead and pull these back through so you can barely see them. Just like that. Now, see how this has a spot missing right here?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
See how that part right there is missing one of the pins?
Yes.
That means it plugs in that way. Like that. And then this, I need to plug back into here very carefully. This part, these cables are thicker and harder to work with, but once you get them where they're supposed to be at, it's not super bad at all. And there you are. Oh, we didn't plug this one in yet. Can I get my hand up in there now? There it is. Those are through. Now you see how I pulled all the cables back through to the other side
Mm-hmm.
so that you can't see them? That's just to make it look pretty. Now this should have a little plastic cover over it. Yep. There you go. Pull that off too. I think that's it. Now we just need to test this thing out and see if it still works. You ready to do that?
Yes.
Alrighty. So what I think I'm going to do with this one is I actually am going to hook up a monitor. So give me just a minute to grab one of those. Okay, so I push that button and it comes on. Now, if you look at this thing, see how it comes up with all the stuff here? It's actually going into the BIOS is what it's doing right now. Yeah, everything comes up. So we're good. So what we need to do now is we actually need to install Windows on this thing. But I don't have my flash drive for that. That's all. I think that's in my office. So we can't do that just yet. But you know that it all works. So that means that you just helped me build a computer.
Yay.
What do you think of that, Peanut?
Good.
Alright. So, you think this is something fun?
Yes.
Like doing that?
Yes.
Well, I think you did a good job on it. I think you probably would have done better if you had watched the video. Like you were supposed to. I gotta check with Bubba and make sure that he actually watched the video. But, that is that, and that is just how easy it is to actually put together a computer. Even a kid can do it. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you like what you're seeing here, give us that thumbs up. If you dislike what you're seeing, let us know in the comment section down below, and we're going to catch you guys in the next one. Y'all take care.